would you rather buy from? Enter Dolores. Hi. So I made this necklace, but it was kind of a bit of a tester. I wasn't really sure what I was doing. It's actually discounted because it's got a little scratch on it if you look carefully. So yeah, it's $25. But if that's too expensive, I also have some other items over here that maybe could be of interest to you. Or Kira. This is one of my best-selling pieces, actually. It has got such a cool story behind it, actually. So all of the hammered texture reflects all of the things that we go through in life and how, we get all of these different experiences, and it makes us who we are and it makes us special. So wearing this is a reminder that no matter how we are, who we are special and unique. So wearing it really helps to empower women. And I absolutely love this piece. It's one of my personal favorites. It's $135. If you have any other questions or you want to try it on, then please let me know. I'm guessing that you might have chosen Kira, not because of the price, because obviously the price is more, but the reason you would have maybe bought into Kira's brand more is because she was really confident about it and there was a whole story behind the piece and she was very eloquent when talking about it, compared to Dolores, who didn't really seem to know what she was doing, didn't really exude confidence. Because when you buy jewelry, you're buying into the brand and you're buying into the person behind the brand, especially when it is a handmade item. If you're not interested in handmade jewelry, obviously you're going to go and buy from Zara or H&M, for example. But the fact that you're choosing to support a handmade designer means you want to support that individual. So if that individual seems a bit, unsure and, doesn't feel very confident, then you don't really feel confident about their brand. And then you don't really feel like you need to support that brand because you don't know if they're going to stick around for a while because they don't seem very certain about anything. Whereas Kira, on her side, her brand, she was very confident about everything. She seemed like she was here to stay and she really cared about people and made more of an impact on me personally and made me feel like when I'm wearing the jewelry from her, I would feel like a really confident person wearing that jewelry. You see how subtle differences in literally the exact same piece of jewelry. The jewelry is the same, but the way that you present it and the way that you present yourself has a massive impact on whether people buy from you or not. So let's run over a few points that will hopefully help you build your confidence when it comes to selling your jewelry in person. Number 1, the sales ick. Some of us may still be attached to an old idea of sales, and that being sleazy, pushy, invasive, demanding, and impersonal. So the way that I envision that is, imagine some salesman walking down the road in his suit and he comes and knocks on everybody's doors and he interrupts whatever you're doing and he demands your attention and tries to pushily really sell you whatever he has to offer, regardless of whether you're interested, you need it, or you even want it. So he'll keep, with foot in the door, like, come on, trying all different tactics and really making you feel like you need this product. In my mind, that is icky sales. But the way that I see sales in terms of selling your jewelry at a craft fair, for example, or an exhibition is completely and utterly different. So having that I feel icky when I'm selling, it's not really the same thing. So when you're at a stand, the people who come up to you and who are browsing around the market, they have come there of their own free will. They want to be there because they know that this is a place where they can find beautiful handmade items. So when they come up to your stand and they're having a look, they're not being pushed, they're not being forced, they are there enjoying a day, they've brought money with to spend, maybe they're looking for a special gift for somebody special, and you having something there to offer them solves that problem for them. Which leads me on to my point number 2, which is you're not taking, you're giving. So we feel sometimes that we're taking their money and they need their money more than I do, and we're doing them a disservice by taking their money and giving them the jewelry, but we focus on the taking rather than the giving. But actually the way that we need to look at that and reframe that is that when people come and they buy from a handmade jewelry designer, you're offering them an alternative to high street fashion, which obviously they're not so interested in because they're there in front of your stand and they want to buy that from you. So giving them something that's beautifully handcrafted, that's unique, that's special, that's really in the taste of their friend means that you're solving a problem for them. This is where having a really strong USP is really important, because it means that your jewelry is going to stand out from your next door neighbor or the other neighbor or somebody down the road, is because it is specifically designed with a certain target audience in mind. And having that really clear means that the person who's buying a gift for that person, for example, comes up to it and they see straight away that that is the perfect gift for Jane, because she absolutely and utterly loves textured jewelry. So she's going to buy your piece of jewelry. So you are making their life easier by them finding this perfect gift. So don't think of it in a way that you're taking, but rather think of it as though you're helping them solve a problem of theirs. So number 3 is not valuing yourself. When you don't value your time, your skills, your materials, and everything that's gone into making your jewelry, and you undercharge for it, then you are clearly not feeling confident about it. Because if you actually value your worth, your skills, your time, everything that's gone into learning those skills and making that beautiful piece of jewelry, then you're not confident, and then you're not going to charge accordingly. So make sure that you do work out your prices correctly so that you do feel confident about it, because your pricing in a way is hand in hand with your confidence about your piece of jewelry. Obviously, I'm not saying overcharge and go crazy, but just charge what it's worth. If you have worked out your prices properly, you'll feel so much more confident in saying them. Trust me, I used to not feel super confident about my prices because I hadn't worked them out. And I felt always like I needed to jump and give a discount because I was really uncertain about them, because I just made them up really. And when I started, I didn't know what I was doing. So make sure that you do that, because your confidence in the price, and then saying the price, and then stopping there without feeling like you need to justify or distract, or like Dolores did in the beginning, I give it to you for less, but also if that's too expensive, then you distract them with another pair of jewelry, another pair of earrings or something else. They might have been wanting to buy that necklace, but the fact that you're then trying to direct them to something else shows that you're not confident, and it confuses the customer. So they don't know, what should I buy now, or what? Should I not buy the expensive? They don't know what to do. So avoid doing that. And another important thing to remember when you're at your stand is that nobody knows your jewelry better than you. So you can feel confident about it because you made it. You know the process in and out. And the person coming up to your stand has, most of the time, unless they're a jewelry designer themselves, no idea how you made that, and they are already impressed that you made that with your hands. And they're like, wow, I couldn't even imagine that. So really just feel confident about that, and know that any question that anybody has to ask you, you will know the answer to it. If it's another jewelry designer, they're probably not going to ask you a question about it because they know. But someone who doesn't know, you can explain the technique to them if you want to, if they're interested, and to have a conversation about that to get them more interested in the piece. Number 4 is overthinking things. This is super, super common, especially when you're starting, and it's nothing to be ashamed of, but really you need to just do it. Sometimes we overthink, and then we talk ourselves out of actually doing the exhibition or the market, or putting ourselves out there in any form, whether it's on Instagram or even doing a little pop-up at a friend's house, or whatever it is in terms of putting yourself out there. You overthink it and worry about what other people are going to say about your jewelry. Who does she think she is making that? Or, she's still learning. Why is she even doing a show? Or, I don't know, her stuff's so expensive, or whatever nonsense we're thinking in our heads. 99.999% of the time, what we're thinking that people are thinking about us is not true, and it's not based on facts or reality. So fact check those thoughts. Has anybody ever even said that? Is that even a thing? Like, why am I worrying about things that haven't happened? So anxiety can't happen in the present. Anxiety happens when you're projecting yourself into a future, and that future ain't looking good. So stop projecting a future that hasn't got a profitable or good outcome, and rather focus on putting yourself in the best position now, and knowing that each time you are just doing the best you can with what you have right here and right now. So don't overthink things. Just get yourself out there. The first few times you're going to be really nervous, but once you've done it, then you're going to give yourself a little pat on your back and say, I did it. Nothing terrible happened. It was fine. Nobody said anything horrible. Nobody accused me of overcharging. None of that stuff happened. And the more you do it, the more your confidence will grow and build. So just get yourself out there and get that experience. And my point number 5 is perfectionism, which also kind of follows on from my point number 4 of overthinking, which is about worrying that the work that we put out there needs to represent our best work ever. And that if it's not perfect, we're not going to put it out there. But here's the thing. If you put yourself out there and you learn a new skill every single day for the next 30 years, you're still going to find something new to learn every single day, because there's that much to learn when it comes to making jewelry. There are endless skills, endless techniques, endless more tools you could buy to make it better and better. But you just need to start somewhere. So start with a small collection of items. I have a previous video up there. You can watch that one about how to create your first collection. And then just get yourself out there and put your work out there. Even if you know it's not perfect. Often what happens with perfectionism is that we keep adding things, keep finding an excuse to not put it out there. So perfectionism can be really beneficial and can help fuel you by you having a drive to make sure that you are doing your best. But then the difference is when you let perfectionism get to you is when you do your best, but then you still don't put it out there. What you need to do is go, okay, I've done my best. Sure, it may not be absolutely and utterly perfect. Nobody's going to know. Keep that in mind. Put it out there and then see what happens, right? Then next time you do it, you learn. You say, oh, people are really more drawn towards that piece. Maybe I can explore that area a little bit more. Oh, maybe people are drawn to that piece. Or, see which pieces are most interesting to people. And then from there, you can build and then be in a better position for the next time you do it and the next time. So you grow from that. But if you're just at home with your pieces and you never show them to anybody, you have no way of knowing if they're any good or not. And another important thing is your jewelry should not be for everybody. It's really, really important to understand that it's okay for some people to not like your jewelry. Because if you have a really clear USP, unique selling point, then that means it's going to strongly appeal to some people, and some other people, it's just really not going to be their thing. If you think of it, for example, I've seen jewelry that's all about skulls and crossbones and, it's really like piratey. As a teenager, sure, I might have wanted to be a pirate for a brief time, but my point is that I am not drawn towards that type of jewelry, but then somebody else might come up, the next person behind me might come up and be like, oh my God, wow, I am in love. I must have at least 3 pieces from this collection. So you see how that person's absolutely in love and I'm not. I will move along and I find a different design and I'm like, oh my God, wow, 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 this is beautiful. That's what you want. Because if you try and make jewelry that is just vanilla and appeals to everybody, what you actually end up doing is alienating everybody. So remember that making jewelry that is specifically for one target audience is the way to go. So if you have any questions about this, please drop a comment down below. I really hope you found that helpful and I look forward to seeing you in another video next week. Take care. Speak to you soon. Bye.